This is Johnny Vedmore on Today's News Talk. TNT.
The scenes at the RNC were like nothing seen before. Republicans were dancing in the aisle, and they appeared to already be celebrating victory. Are Republicans setting themselves up for a fall come Election Day?
Well, first to go to the convention, I think one of the things that we were trying to do in the program was to reinvent what a national convention could be. So traditionally, we felt that, they were often made up of a lot of old white guys, usually members of Congress or the Senate or governors, whatever it may be, who spoke repeatedly about policy platforms and different aspects of the campaign. So what we tried to do in this one is to make it the first modern convention where we put together the delegates and the organization with folks who are what we called everyday Americans. And if you noticed, if you watched, we had a lot of people on stage who were just like you and me. The Hispanic mother who struggles to make ends meet, families affected by inflation, families affected by immigrant, crime, immigrant displacement of jobs. So we tried to do something that was totally different, and we think that we succeeded pretty well. And it was a very positive convention. It was a very happy convention. Now, to answer your question, things have changed dramatically in the last few days, obviously. I think if we had been going into this November election facing Joe Biden, I think we would have been in a much better position. In fact, I think a lot of us were hoping that would be the case. It appears not to be the case, and so now we have a new opponent, and we have to kind of regroup, and we have to shift, and it's not going to be easy. I think people on our side who believe that this is going to be a landslide because Vice President Harris is a word salad lady and the cackler, whatever you want to call her. It just is not going to. It's not going to be easy. In fact, I think we're probably, in my opinion, we probably have a deficit right now that we have to overcome to win this. Her getting into the race is going to change the youth vote, which was not very. Didn't like Biden at all. They're going to be very engaged with Kamala. I think there's a lot of different factors here that are going to change this race, and for us, not the better.
Yeah, and now obviously she's a bigger threat than Joe Biden, and yeah, she's word salad. Some of the outtakes you've got of her are just insane. She just can't hold a string of sentences together without sounding just ridiculous at times. But still, she's not someone who's suffering from Parkinsonian disease or affliction, and so she has got and she's got a lot of course, the minority vote could get behind her a little bit as well. Are Republicans, and this was my main point really, are Republicans risking underestimating her campaign at the moment?
100%. And it's easy to see why. I mean, she's been a failure as a vice president. The areas that she was supposed to be controlling or in charge of, per se, the border, Ukraine, are both disasters. So it would be easy for us to say, well, she's not a very good candidate, and we should be able to mop the floor with her. And so the problem is that's just not going to be true. And we all know that these elections, based on what's happened in 2020 and 2022, the opposition is very good at changing the vote, let's say, stealing the vote, however you want to place it. And so for us to be overconfident that this is an easy win, or even a win in itself, would be bad judgment.
Yeah, I think so. I've been warning about that myself during the monologues, that it only takes a selection or two, and who knows, Black Swan event could see Harris be changed again. Maybe bad polling numbers could see the Democrats make a new decision, and anything would be better than Biden for a lot of people. And that sort of relief, it backs up and bolsters their numbers indeed. What happens though to the $250 million which Joe Biden's election campaign has already raised? Does that just go to Kamala?
Well, they're trying to make that happen as we speak. The problem is the FEC, in their judgment, that's not allowable. So I think what you're going to see is a lot of legal actions here. Unfortunately, in legal actions, we don't tend to do very well, especially when the courts of jurisdiction are in areas like D.C., where the FEC is based. So I just, and also those take time, and we don't have time. So I don't think that we're going to be able to stop it, just like we haven't been able to stop anything else they do.
This is Johnny Vedmore on Today's News Talk.